Look,
Hey
you've seen.
everyone, welcome back to another episode of Mike and Chet's Tennis Podcast. Today we're joined by Baxter once again.
Hi, Baxi.
He's a special guest, always has to make an appearance.
Hmm, Good boy.
And today's episode number 17.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow, time flies.
that's pretty good, huh?
Very good. Very good.
All right, so today I wanted to get into a little bit, ask you some coaching questions because you have decades of experience, and I wanted to
Too many decades.
just 2 decades?
Too many decades.
Oh, too many decades. So get those answers everyone's itching to know. And then we'll go into the Australian Open a little bit, and then maybe some general tennis questions to finish off.
Okay.
All right. So, firstly, I wanted to ask you, because I don't even really know this, how did you first get into coaching at the club level?
Well, I started out when I was about 15 or 16, just coaching at some private courts,
Oh,
people that I
okay.
knew. So I was coaching individual clients, people that were kind of, I don't know, intermediate players. We didn't
Yeah.
have that 2.5, 3.0, etc., but intermediate players.
Mhm.
And they liked my lessons. So I built up a clientele before I even had a club.
Wow.
And then when I went into it full time, I went to a club called Wingfield Indoor Rackets, and
Hmm.
I was 27 years old, and the rest is
Right.
history. And I
Wow.
knew I knew the owner of Wingfield.
But before that, weren't you at yeah, I guess like year round, but weren't you at a few golf courses?
Yeah. Yeah, that was my first full-time job. But in the
Yeah.
summer, I was the first tennis coach at Maple Downs Golf and Country Club. And then following that, I was at the Oakdale Golf and Country Club. But those were
And
seasonal, those were summer jobs.
and
I was still
so
going to
you
school.
started with this client base just at the parks,
Yeah,
people in the
people I knew.
neighborhood.
Yeah, a lot of them had private courts.
Okay.
Yeah. And just people I knew from around, and that
And then
was it.
how did you get linked up with Maple Downs? That was the first one.
Yeah, I knew
How did
the
you get that? Because a lot of coaches out there are struggling to get full-time positions. How
yeah.
did you go about getting that first position?
I was kind of lucky
Okay.
because a friend of mine's father was on the tennis committee at Maple Downs. He knew that
Oh wow.
I played a lot, and he asked me. I never had to apply for anything,
Wow.
so we worked out something, and I taught at Maple Downs, and from there, same thing with Oakdale. It's through people that I knew, through
Wow.
referrals. Excuse me.
So and then I guess it evolved. You got the job at Winfield, and that was also through referrals, just word of mouth,
Yeah, I knew the owner of Wingfield
through the tennis community.
through the tennis community.
So,
So I've been lucky.
well, it's not really luck because you were so involved in
Yeah,
tennis
that's
that
correct. I
you
merited it, but I
had
was,
built a network. So I think from this, I mean, a lot of coaches can benefit from hearing this, is that if you want to get positions as a tennis professional, you have to already be involved in tennis for the most part, so you make those connections. And so when job opportunities come up, you're at the top of mind for some of these coaches and directors. And sometimes I feel like it's not even about reaching out to the director and making yourself known first. It's more about being involved in the sport and those connections kind of happening just because you're involved, as it sounds like that's how it worked out for you.
yeah, it's networking, it's knowing people
Yeah.
and people in the tennis community, and then those things come up.
Yeah, and they see your passion obviously because it became a profession for you. It's still a passion, but it became a profession, but it just started as a passion, right?
Yes, that's
And
right.
that was there first, and that rubs off on people. People
Yeah.
recognize when you're passionate about it, and here comes a job. This guy's passionate about what the job entails. He's a good candidate, you
Yeah, I
know.
love to play tennis. I was pretty good at it. So I met people through there, and I taught a few lessons because I was going to school and I needed a summer job.
Yeah.
And I couldn't just sell shoes part-time, which I was doing,
Yeah.
women's shoes. And then so I started to get involved in tennis
Right.
at the club level.
Right. Do you think that helped you, that shoe salesman
No.
background? Do you feel like that helped you?
Well, it helps you in this way that, you're selling,
Right.
everything's selling, and you're selling and you're meeting people and you're friendly, and it helps you in everything.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, people forget that it's not about how much you know sometimes. It's hardly about that. It's a lot of it is how much you can communicate to a student. And then also it's about retaining and getting clients, and that's where the sales comes in.
You know, people have to like you.
Right.
They don't like you. It doesn't matter how good you are. You're not going to
That's true.
get
They have to
many students.
enjoy taking a lesson from you.
Correct. Correct.
Um, which gets me to the next part. I mean, we're describing what makes an ideal coach and what makes, a good coach. But what's the next step in that? Like, what would you say is the some things you look out for? Because you've hired a lot of coaches over the years. What would you say is the thing you look out for between, just a good coach and a great coach from what you've seen at the club
Well,
level?
yeah, at the club level, well, it's personality, it's
Mhm.
integrity,
Yeah.
it's finding out what your student wants
Right.
because they're your customer.
Yeah.
It's not what you want to impose on them. It's what do you want? It's the first question I ask.
Hmm.
Everybody should ask of their student, why are you taking lessons?
Yeah,
And it could be,
absolutely.
I want good exercise. It could be because I really want to learn something about tennis. Or it could be just, I want to, have some fun, talk to somebody.
Right.
It's it. Everybody's got their part. I want some fitness. Everybody's got their purpose, and that's what you've got to find out.
Right. What's driving the client to come to you for a lesson? You have to
Yeah.
figure out
And
why and try to satisfy that.
yeah, and am I being successful in giving them what they want?
Right.
If
Right.
they want to, let's say, improve their serve, and they've taken 4 lessons and their serve's not improving,
Yeah.
then I'm not
Or
doing
you
my
only
job.
spend like the last 8 minutes on it
Yeah.
when that's
Yeah.
the key element of why they came to you for a lesson.
And here's a little saying that I love. I may as well throw this in here. It's not how much the coach knows, it's how much the student learns.
Right.
So it's not coach centered, it's
Right.
student centered.
Right. Yeah.
So all you young coaches out there, that's a good motto for you.
Absolutely. I love that. What would you say is people come to you for lessons all the time? Sometimes you hear the reason why they're coming to you for a lesson. And some of the time it's driven by a misconception about, how recreational players should improve. I've had people come to me and ask me to, teach them a Western grip topspin forehand when they're having trouble with, just a regular grip forehand, Eastern grip. And, what do you think is obviously that's a misconception that they have to switch to the Western grip to have a good forehand because they see the pros do it. What would you say is one of the biggest misconceptions that you see at the club level, that players have about what they need to do to improve?
That they can drastically change their game right away just because I'm a good coach. I will often say, let's say somebody wants to learn a topspin serve,
Yeah,
an intermediate player at best. So my question always is to them, how many hours a day do you have to practice this?
right,
They'll say, most of the people will say, I play an hour or two a week. I said, well, it's going to be very difficult for you to drastically change something like that.
right, right,
So you're better off working with what you have and improving it and becoming a better player that way.
right. Yeah,
It's a process. It's
100%.
always a process. And then the student has to learn that. And that's the misconception that they can do it right away because I give them good advice or good tips. It doesn't work that way. It's a process, it's work.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm
Absolutely.
sure as a young coach, you would find the same thing. The
Yeah,
experience isn't the same as mine, but I'm sure it's very good, and it's just a shorter period.
right. Yeah, no, I see it basically the same way. Speaking of young coaches, I mean, what do you think is one of from what you've seen over there's what's one of the biggest mistakes that you think a young coach um, could make? Some of those mistakes, that you've seen with young coaches.
I see a lot of coaches who think that they've got to teach everything a certain way because that's what they did in their course to get certified.
Right.
But you have to teach in a way that's improving your student. And if you show the student, let's say, an extreme Western grip and they just can't get it, or even a semi-Western grip and they can't get it, then you have to try something else. Because the bottom line is they have to improve. And if the
Right.
conventional way doesn't work, figure something out, deal with what they have.
Yeah, I mean, the improvement is a key element of why people take tennis lessons, but another one is they want to have fun. Like tennis draws people in because it's a fun sport. It's fun to get involved and play. How do you balance that when it comes to a lesson between, the discipline of you're there to improve your tennis, but you're also there to have a good time?
Well, you want to always give them something, give the students something that they can do. You don't want to have to repeat something over and over again for 6 lessons in a row and they're just not getting it. That's not
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
But you want to show them that they can improve. Do this, and you're going to improve. And everybody loves improving. They have fun. They have
Right.
fun improving.
I mean, speaking of, improving competitive play, etc., we have storylines from the Australian Open to cover.
Mhm.
One of the interesting ones, I don't know if you want to jump right into it, is what happened, what we saw with Naomi Osaka. Obviously, she dropped out, which is unfortunate. But just the controversy of the last match. I mean, what did you see in that
Well, I'll
controversy?
tell you, backing up a little bit, I can't stand that screaming. I can't
Right,
stand the screaming. I can't stand the pumping, etc. That's not what the sport used to be like.
right.
So I think there's a limit and there's an extreme. Like
Hmm.
I think Sabalenka or Sharapova before her, they have a prolonged scream after they hit a shot. I
Yeah,
think, my opinion, that's deliberate and that is intimidating your opponent and distracting your opponent. So that should be limited. It's very tough to limit it though because all the kids are doing it and their coaches don't say a word.
right. I mean, that dates back to, back in the rumor when they used to say, it was something Nick Bollettieri came up with in his academy. Because I believe it was, who was it that came out of his academy, Azarenka or someone, and come out with the big screaming, and they accused him of doing that, like you said, that
Mhm.
prolonged scream to, hinder the opponent. I remember there was a big question about that way back when.
Yeah, a grunt, I can see a grunt when you're hitting it. Or, women have a higher voice, so they're, a short scream, but it has to be quick.
Right. Yeah, it
Now
can't
what,
linger when the other player's hitting,
yeah, what
from the.
Naomi Osaka did, contrary to what a lot of the experts are saying, who said, well, she doesn't mean it, she didn't, in the heat of battle, etc.
Right.
I think it's on purpose, it's intimidating, and it's
Yeah.
distracting.
Yeah,
And
I
what
mean,
she did, what she did with that serve, Kirstea's after her first miss, pumping herself up out loud. That's distracting and intimidating. That shouldn't be allowed in our great game.
right. I think what she did, that pumping in between the points, I think is over the top. I think Naomi was saying that she wishes, the complaint was made to her just directly and as opposed to out loud and to the umpire and everything. She wishes, it wasn't made such a big deal because I don't think she really meant it. It was, you know, not very considerate, but I don't think she meant it as like trying to provoke or intimidate or anything. I think that's just her personality, but
Yeah, I'm
still,
not
it's
so
not.
sure about that.
No?
I'm not so
Okay.
sure about that.
Comment below, guys, what you think of that.
Yeah. And she's saying, well, you should have told me not to do it. Well, that's bad sportsmanship. I shouldn't have to tell my opponent, don't
Right.
have bad sportsmanship.
Yeah,
But I think
exactly.
that the referee was a little bit at fault because if somebody complains to the referee, like if Christea complained to the referee, which I think she did, she's got to put a stop to that. It's not
For
fair. It's not
sure.
fair sportsmanship.
Yeah.
It's not a good
No, for
example to kids. It's not a good example to people taking up the game. Anyway,
absolutely.
other people have another opinion, but that's mine. I don't like it. I like it to be a professional game.
Absolutely. Speaking of professionals, Nick Kyrgios, obviously didn't play in the singles this year. Um, he was, lost to with Kokkinakis in the men's doubles. He's on with Leylah Fernandez. He made it through to the second round. I mean, what do you think of his current form and the trajectory of his career at this moment?
Oh, he's just having fun.
Yeah,
I don't think he just likes to entertain. I think he's an entertainer. That's his thing. He's not going to win anything at this point.
yeah,
But he likes being in the spotlight. He likes people laughing at him.
right.
He's a comedian.
Yeah.
I like watching him actually.
Yeah, I love it too. I mean, what do you think? Can Nick still compete legitimately for slams?
No, I
No.
don't think so.
You think
I
that
don't.
you think he's kind of at the tail end of his career? Could he reset it? Is
I don't
there
think with his personality, he doesn't want to put in the practice. He doesn't want to listen to a
right,
coach.
right.
He'd rather play basketball with his friends by his own admission. He
Yeah, I
just
mean,
happens to be super talented, and he made some money from tennis because he's that good. But
yeah. I mean, that's the continuous conversation with him. I mean, what does his career say about talent versus discipline? He's extremely talented, and yet, he hasn't managed to maybe capitalize on that talent due to lack of discipline.
yeah, he's not that interested. He likes to just have fun out on the
Right,
court
right.
and
Yeah, the
be a
interest has
showman
to
for
be
the
there
crowd.
for the discipline
Yeah.
to be there,
And
right?
it works. The crowd
Want to
likes
do
to
it.
see him.
Absolutely.
Most of the crowd. I mean, the odd person will say, "Oh, that's not proper tennis." But he doesn't do stuff to distract his opponent.
No.
He just has fun.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he has done some of his antics, I think could definitely be distracting for the opponent, but I don't think it's never like deliberate. He's had some feuds though where, he's acted
Hmm.
up a bit.
Yeah.
Um, Medvedev unfortunately fell in the fourth round. I'm a big fan. But Lerner T, 20 years old in the
Good
quarterfinals of
player.
the Australian Open.
By the
Unbelievable.
way, speaking of Medvedev, have you ever heard him scream after a shot?
No.
No, he doesn't. He just plays tennis.
Yeah.
Like you can do something internally. I think Martina said that. I saw in when they were talking about
Right.
Naomi Osaka. I think she said that. You can pump yourself up. You don't have to scream.
Yeah.
Pump yourself up internally. Slap your
Absolutely.
hand against your thigh. I mean, there's things you can do that are more considerate.
Absolutely.
Medvedev doesn't. Medvedev's a great player. He's very quick. He's still one of the best in the world. I didn't see that match, so was it just that?
I watched a lot of it. I mean, it was a pretty dominant performance. I think Lerner played very well. Obviously, Medvedev, I don't think played to his fullest capacity. But Lerner Tien was had a great match, and he's representative of this next generation that's coming in and kind of
Mhm.
knocking the guys off that we saw dominate the sport the last 7, 8 years.
Maybe Medvedev's new baby kept him up all night last night.
Yeah, possibly. I
Yeah.
mean, I think he is experiencing a revival. He's kind of getting out of that 2025 slump, but this next gen, they're pushing it. They're pushing
Yeah.
these guys.
Good. Bunch of
Uh,
good guys.
I wouldn't mind getting into a little bit of predictions. We got fourth round women's matches coming up. An All-American match, Jessica Pegula versus Maddie Keys. I
By
mean,
the way, I've got the results if you want to hear.
okay, let's hear.
Um, Pegula won 6-3, 6-4, I believe, two straight anyway.
Excellent, excellent. And um, we got Wang and Anisimova.
I haven't seen results on that. I don't know if they've played yet.
let's see, because they are happening. No, 9:30 start. I mean, so Goff beat Machoga, obviously Svitolina won. Um, Rybakina versus Mertens, sorry.
Yeah. That's interesting. She's interesting. She's a good player, Rebecca, and she could win the tournament. You know,
Yeah,
she's kind of under the radar, but
right.
she
And
could
then,
blow.
Inglis qualifiers playing Swiatek. Obviously, I think we both think Swiatek is going to win.
Yeah,
So that would be a Rybakina versus Swiatek quarterfinals. Um,
that'll be good.
yeah. And then we got Wang versus Anisimova. I think we both say Anisimova on that one.
There's another one. Anisimova could win the tournament.
Yeah.
I mean, um, Sabalenka's still the favorite, but these are possibilities.
Right. Right. Yeah. And then the quarterfinals, Sabalenka versus Jovic, Goff versus Svitolina.
Did Jovic win?
She's through to the quarters against Sabalenka.
Hmm.
Yeah. Who do you think for that one?
I got to pick Sabalenka all the way because she
Mm.
has a way of like, I saw her against Maboko, and Maboko was staying in there, and once the tiebreak started, she just wiped her out. She
Yeah.
comes through. She can come through at any time. She hits so big.
And who's winning Swiatek or Rybakina?
I'm picking Rybakina
Wow.
just because I think Swiatek's better on clay, and I'm picking Rybakina. That's an interesting match.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Very interesting. And then Pegula versus Anisimova. Who would win that one?
Oh boy, I would pick Anisimova.
I'd pick Pegula. So you'd have Anisimova and Rybakina. I'd go Pegula and Swiatek as
Could
the other
be. I
semis.
mean, that's a real toss-up because Pegula's playing very well.
Yeah.
He's
And then I
even,
think, okay, Sabalenka versus Goff. Let's say Sabalenka wins, Goff versus Svitolina. I think we'd both say Goff, right?
yeah.
So in your version, it's Rybakina and Anisimova. Who wins that?
That's a toss-up. I go Rybakina. I just like her game.
Rybakina. Okay, Rybakina or Goff.
I'm going Rybakina all the way until
Wow.
she plays
Okay.
Sabalenka.
It's a Goff Swiatek final. I think Goff would beat Sabalenka. Um, and then I'll go Goff to win it all.
But I picked Sabalenka for winning the Screaming Championship. I think she's going to win it hands down.
Yeah. Okay, let's get some men's predictions. I mean, unfortunately, Mensik had to drop out. Djokovic is on to the quarterfinals. So Musetti or Fritz, who's going to be playing Djokovic?
That's very close. I got to give Fritz the slight edge,
Yeah, I'm the
but
same.
Musetti could win it too.
Okay, and then we
I go
got
Fritz.
Darderi versus Sinner,
I don't even know who Darderi is. I know he's like
young
20th
Italian guy.
seed or something. I go Sinner.
Yeah, Shelton versus Rude.
Um, Rude.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go.
Just because his father was such a good player.
Okay. And then we got Alcaraz versus the Demon on the other side.
I can't go against Alcaraz. He's just,
Okay.
yeah.
Zverev or Tien.
I got to go Zverev,
Okay.
even though I mean Teen's hot.
Tien, yeah, sorry. So
But I
so
don't know if Medvedev played badly or if Teen played that well.
so who wins, Fritz or Djokovic?
I'm going to give Fritz the slight edge this time.
Oh wow.
Well, it's hard to go against
Okay.
Djokovic, but I'm going to give
Then,
Fritz the slight
then who
edge.
wins, Sinner or Rude?
Sinner.
Okay, so you got Sinner and Fritz in one semis, and you got Alcaraz and Zverev on the other. Who
Hmm.
makes the finals and who wins?
Alcaraz against Sinner, and I'm picking Alcaraz.
Wow.
I think he's playing really well.
So my predictions are quarters Fritz versus Djokovic, Sinner versus Shelton. Um, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go in those. Fritz wins and Sinner wins. Um, Sinner versus Fritz. I'm gonna go Sinner wins. On the other side, it's gonna be Alcaraz Zverev. Alcaraz wins. Alcaraz versus Sinner. Sinner wins.
Okay. Okay.
And then I wanted to also get into, we've seen players come down with cramps. Unfortunately, the cramps have been targeting Canadian players.
Good idea.
What do you think of cramping? Do you think cramping is part of the game? Should we just,
Yeah. Well,
um,
first of all, I read something about cramping,
okay,
where runners get cramps and have to pull up lame on the track. And what the experts seem to say is if you are cramping, you can be lying in bed and you get a hamstring cramp, which I've had many times.
right.
That shows that you're lacking something in your nutrition
Okay.
if that happens.
Yeah.
If you cramp when you're doing an athletic event, it's probably because you're not in good enough shape. But I guess there's variables
Well,
too. But
yeah.
that's
I
that's
mean,
what I that's what I've heard, and I
right.
agree with that. I
Yeah, I think
agree.
possibly generally, but it's too hard to say. I mean, but if that is the case, right? Let's say you're out of shape and you're cramping. You could argue, that player deserves to lose because they weren't in good enough physical condition. The guy with better physical conditioning, which is part of the game, won the match.
Well, I would say I know there is some kind of a rule that you can call for medical attention if you're cramping, let's say, and you have 3 minutes to get rid of the cramp and then continue.
Yeah, there has to be a certain length of time.
Yep, it's a certain length of time, and it has to be some injury that inhibits you from playing. Like you can't just say I don't feel well and call medical attention because you're losing a game.
Right,
But shouldn't there be some kind of penalty? Because it's a hardship on your opponent who's not cramping.
right.
So there should be something, take away some points or something. Because they're let's say the opponent is winning and you cramp. That spoils the opponent's flow.
Yeah,
You're cramping. But
it's
I
true.
think
I
it should
mean,
only be once anyway. I think, once if you're going to cramp again, and I think that's too bad.
yeah. I mean, while we're thinking of changing the rules, and what do you think about the coaching rule? I mean, that's been a hot topic. I mean, are you in favor of coaching during matches?
I don't mind the coaching as long as it's not distracting your opponent,
Right.
because every sport has coaching during a match, or most sports. Like even boxing, that's an individual sport. I mean, there's coaching during a
Yeah.
match.
I mean, there's some people, including Taylor Fritz, who voiced his opinion when the rule change occurred. He said he always feels that tennis, is a one-on-one sport, and that, coaching during a match is shouldn't be allowed because why should you have someone else determining, your mental strategy or whatever else? It should just be all up to you. It's a one-on-one
Yeah,
sport. It's not a team sport.
yeah. But how about boxing? That's one-on-one.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Now
Yeah.
the thing is with coaching, I think sometimes it's more distracting to the player than helpful.
Yeah, it could
In the
be.
middle of a tight match, excuse me, I played a lot of tennis. I don't want a guy talking to me,
Right.
telling me what to do. I
Yeah.
find that distracting.
Yeah, and you see a lot of players get frustrated with their team. Perhaps that's what's spurring it on,
Hmm.
is,
Probably,
the
yeah. You're
frustration.
aggravating them. Yeah.
Yeah, it's aggravating. So
Anyways, I'm
who's
not
coaching
opposed to
after?
coaching as long as everybody's got access to it
Right,
and as long as it's not intimidating or hampering to your opponent.
right.
Yep. And
Uh,
cramping, going back to cramping,
yeah.
once, if you can't play, once take whatever it is, like 3 minutes off, whatever it is, and that's it.
Yeah, because if it's serious, 3 minutes isn't going to cut it to get them better.
Yep.
So I think that's, then if
Or
you have a
you can
serious
also you can
problem, it
also
should be taken to
forfeit a
that.
game. You can forfeit a game.
Mhm.
Like if you're cramping badly and the score's 30 all, you can blow the next 2 points and get, more attention when you're changing ends.
Right.
It's- yeah, it's like Scrabble. When you don't want like your hand, you can throw it in and lose a
Yeah.
turn.
Yeah, that's a different way of looking at it for sure.
Mhm.
Okay, I was thinking we could end the session just with quick fire questions. We'll both try to come up with an answer. Um, is there anything else from the Australian Open you want to cover?
I don't think so. Not right now. We'll,
Okay. Yeah, we'll just wait and see some exciting matches
yes.
now for
Mhm.
sure.
Yep.
Okay, this is the quick fire. One drill every club player should do weekly.
Oh boy. Um, I don't know. I like you know, backing up on the baseline, short ball coming into the net. I think that's a great drill. We're talking about
Yeah,
intermediate players.
right. I like the pattern training, few forehands, few backhands, approach shot, and then take few at the net. I think that's a really, if you can throw in some variety there, that's a really cool pattern that I think, also gives you a little bit of strategy when you go to play.
Good.
Best shot to master for weekend warriors. Those are people who, play a little bit of tennis, but not really. They go out, have some fun with friends occasionally. If they can master just one shot, maybe master is too strong of a word, but improve one shot that you think would help their game, what would you say?
Probably the backhand.
Okay. Yeah,
A lot
some
of
people
people
just
have a
have no
backhand.
backhand, right? You see that a lot
That's great.
with
Just
that
get a
crowd.
backhand. Most people can hit a decent forehand.
Yeah, I'd agree. I'd agree with that. I'd say the same thing. One player, who's your favorite player on tour to watch right now?
Alcaraz.
Alcaraz? Yeah, same. Hard not to say
Yeah, I
Alcaraz.
mean he's so almost balletic. He's
So
quick,
entertaining.
never gives up. Plus, he's having fun.
Yeah, it's fun to see, fun to
Yeah,
watch
no
on tour.
screaming.
All right. And on that note, wait, we got to comment on our Lacoste. So I
Yeah,
went with the
I'm
brown
wearing my
fit.
favorite lavender color. You?
Okay, very nice.
Yeah. Basic
Very.
brown.
Yeah, I'm more, like winter time by the fireplace. That's more like I don't know. That's kind of feels like more modern man vibes, you know, going out vibes, maybe a little bit more rather than, it could be a staying at home kind of shirt there. I see a little bit of relaxation in the lavender.
Yeah, and I like these colors. Looking forward to the spring, puts me in a good mood.
Ah, okay. Yeah. See, I'm embracing the woody wholeness of the winter time with the brown.
I understand that.
You understand that? Okay.
Yeah, I
I
understand.
understand. I understand the forward thinking to the spring with the lavender.
Yeah, definitely.
That's a good mood.
Definitely.
Okay, and on that note, everyone, don't forget to subscribe, like, leave us a comment. We'd really like to hear anything you have to say on our episodes, what's going on in tennis, agree, disagree with us. We'd love to hear from you. And on that note, thanks for watching episode 17. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye, everybody.